And now, streaming out of Northeast Ohio, representing marks, drunks, and a little bit of kayfabe, AIW Fan Club. It's wrestling and podcasting, previewing and reviewing all motherfucking day. People of the world, I give to you wrestling fucking cheers!
Taking your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to go where you can see that troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
And welcome back to Wrestling Cheers, where everybody knows your name, especially when we got a lot of wrestling to talk about for this weekend. This is Wrestling Cheers. We'd like to talk about things going on the Northeast Ohio independent wrestling scene. We preview shows, we review shows, and sometimes we even have interviews along the way. This is a double preview of two AIW shows coming this weekend. We have A Touch of Evil this Friday, August 27th, and then we have the very next day, Wrestlerager 5, Fight to Survive, Saturday, August 28th. I'm your host, Justin Summers, and Wrestling Cheers is brought to you by the Trending Topics Network and Midwest Territory. Please rate, review, and subscribe your ever listen to this fine podcast, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, or Podbean, WrestlingCheers.podbean.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Facebook.com/WrestlingCheers, Twitter.com/WrestlingCheers, and Instagram.com/WrestlingCheers. Email, if you so choose to desire, WrestlingCheers@gmail.com, and we have the merch store over at whatamaneuver.net. Like I said, this is a double preview of two AIW shows. Already introduced who I am, and we also have Stacy.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Nice to have you back. In my head, you were on the last episode, but I forgot you were on the last episode I recorded because last week's episode was recorded like days prior.
Yeah, I'm back. It's Rager weekend.
This is a jam-packed wrestling weekend. I mean, we have these two shows, and then obviously, too, the nice 1-2 punch that I love, Wrestlerager on Saturday, Old Wrestling on Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be a long weekend. I cannot wait to be miserable in a horse barn.
Yeah, I got some plans to get there early, so that's going to be fun on top of everything. But yeah, there's just something about having Rager one day, Old Wrestling the next, two different shows, but the same excitement level. It's just great.
Yeah, man, I love Rager. I'm excited about Rager, but Old, I missed the last extravaganza in 2019. So it's been an even longer break for me since the last extravaganza I was at. So it's like it's the thing I'm most excited about for the weekend, but I'm pretty excited about the whole fucking thing.
And we also have Charly Butters.
Heyo.
So you are also going to be at all three of the shows that we've talked about.
Yes.
It's going to be
I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend, but we're here to talk about these two AIW shows. Now, we are recording this on Monday evening, and obviously this episode comes out on Thursday. We don't necessarily know every match on the card, but we're going to tell you everything that has been announced to this point. So if there are matches that have been announced that we haven't talked about, or we're not going to talk about, just understand that is why. Maybe we speculate on some things that turns out within the next, 2 days turns out to be, oh yeah, that didn't matter because a match was announced or something else was announced. So I don't have to record anything later. Be like, yep, that's why we fucked this up. But no, we got two shows to go through, and it's going to be really hard to do a standard preview on both of them. So we're just going to go through all the matches that we have announced to us and talk about them. But first, with Touch of Evil, of course, Dan Hausen. Dan Hausen back in AIW for the first time since the Collective last year. And then before that, we're talking, he was at Hey Yo, right? Or no? I'm thinking 200. I can't remember the last time he was in AIW before that. Butters, you're
So he wrestled Hornswoggle at Heyo.
okay.
Was that was that the last show he was on?
He was on the Indiana show with Kevin Thorne.
Yeah.
When Thorne was shit-faced and...
Oh, yeah, that's why. I was like, I know there was something during COVID that Dan Hausen was on. That's what it was. Yeah, it was the Collective show. Yeah.
That's what I said the last time he was in AIW was the Collective last year.
You know, I'm really surprised as much as Thorne loves Halloween that he didn't name this show The Night He Came Home, because this is totally like what as soon as I saw that he was coming back, I was like, that's what I would have named the show. And like made it like Halloween themed. I don't know. I thought it would have been cool, but Touch of Evil is cool too. I'm excited. There's lots of people on this show that I feel like I haven't seen in a hot minute that I can't wait to see. So,
and then we also have Terry Reynolds.
Yeah, we do.
Little she-devil.
I really like the theme that seems to be happening where John is booking all of the 90s WWE ladies.
Yes.
I like it. It needs to continue.
Yes,
It would
let's
be-
get Lita next.
Yes. Let's get Lita on a show with Danny Doring
Yeah.
so they can revisit their ECW short-lived gimmick where she was his valet.
And maybe we could have a certain Amishman there and get that dream tag match we've been wanting for a while.
Oh boy, I would love it. I don't think Roadkill's ever going to go in the ring again. I would take Roadkill just in like Levi's corner though. Like that would be enough for me. Just like Levi has a singles match, but Roadkill's in his corner. It's just, I need to see it at some point.
I think for Terry, I tried to look for things I could possibly buy to have her sign, but like most of the stuff was with Goldust. And I was like, I don't want to have, only one signature on it. So I'm like, fuck it.
You don't think you're ever going to see old Dustin at a something?
I've met him once, but that's outside a WWE show, but it's one of those things like I'd rather wait until I can get both at one time, or whether I know like I'm going to get two dates really close to each other that I can get them done. Because I know they have like a figure 2-pack, which I think is the only figure she had. And since I don't know when I'm going to see Goldust or Dustin, whatever you want to call him, like, yeah, I'm just going to skip on it for now.
I don't know, man. I learned a long time ago, collecting things where I needed multiple people's autographs on it, that if you wait for this Holy Grail day where they're all going to be in the same place at one time, you're fucked and you should just give up and never do it. Like, if worst case scenario, you end up with like one of them passes or something happens and you have a fucking fig signed by just one of them, you have it signed by just one of them. But like, I have Texas Chainsaw shit that like, if I hadn't piecemealed that stuff together, never fucking happened.
That's what I'm doing with my Clerks X DVD. I got 50% of what I need for it. So
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like things that I've got to where like I had to get both people at one time. Or I think I did have one 8x10 with 3 people on it. My biggest concern was getting one of the bigger names on it. And then once I got that one, I got the other 2. But yeah, I don't want to be like, have that like hole that I'm always searching for that potentially probably never get. I don't know. That's just me. I like single things that I can get one person to sign.
you couldn't find like a issue of Raw magazine with her on the cover?
The main one that I found was her and Goldust. And a lot of times when I typed in Raw magazine, like she was the centerfold and not the actual like cover, other than, like I said, the one with Goldust, which I thought was cool. But I'm like, again, fuck. I don't know if I'm ever going to meet him. I should say meet him again, but yeah.
I am positive that dude will be doing some WrestleCons and all kinds of shit. AEW seems very open to letting those folks make some fucking side money.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it, but I think also too, like, I'm not really a huge fan of Goldust. So I'm like, it's not something I want to like chase after.
Oh, hey man, I'm just saying your thing was like you wanted to wait until they were both somewhere. And I was like, I don't know. I would just, if you're going to do it, pull the trigger and do it. If not, I'd say fuck it.
I mean, to the point, like, I didn't buy an item, so, because that's the other thing too. It's not like I have something lying around. Like, if I have something lying around, that's different. But the fact that I'd have to go out, buy the said item, I'll tell you one thing. Speaking of Rager and autographs, one of my biggest regrets, and it's not like someone that passed, it's just, I like to have like, maybe like cool things to get signed, or maybe something that has like a theme to it. And we had all these ECW legends come in for Rager. and I thought I didn't have anything. But you know what I did have? I have the ECW CD, the first one. I could have easily had them all just like either sign the front or sign like throughout the book. I didn't think about that until like a year or two ago. And I was like, son of a bitch, that would have been a good one.
Yeah, that would work. That's a good ECW thing.
Yeah, like I said, kicking myself in the ass for not thinking about that. And then when I did think of it, it was just way too late.
Yeah, I got a couple things for Dan Hausen to sign for me, so.
I'm getting the second Micro Brawler sign, I know for sure.
I've never bothered him to sign anything ever. I'm going to bring one of those comics. I bought 3 copies of it with the intention of having him sign one of them, so.
Yeah, I got
that's
one.
All I'm bringing.
I got one copy. I'm gonna have him sign it, and then that Dark Light mask that he had, I'm gonna have him sign that too.
Yeah, I've got him to sign a lot of stuff, but like I said, the fact that I got the first Micro Brawler signed, I want to get the second one signed too, and I have cases for him, so nice little perfect thing to put him. Although I did buy 2 of his second Micro Brawler, and the thing that I like about the new Micro Brawler cases is you can actually like take the plastic off and like reinsert everything. But the main thing I did is I flipped his figure because the design on the back of his cape is on the Micro Brawler. So I have one displayed with the back facing. And I think that's pretty cool. So I might get both of them signed because I think that'd be kind of cool, but one for sure. And then also, side note, I haven't really talked about it here on the show, and I'm going to give him a huge shout out because I got a lot of fucking shit I got to bring to this show. But huge shout out to our boy Kenny from the Mystery Men for hooking me up randomly with a Colin Delaney figure, something we've talked about here on the show. I'd been kind of looking for it. It wasn't necessarily top of my list. Like I'm searching eBay and all this kind of stuff, but it's something I really wanted. And he hit me up about 3 weeks ago or so and said, "Hey, what's your address?" And he actually did have it from a previous message in the conversation. And he's like, "Is it still this?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's, same address." And he's like, "All right, cool." And me, I'm just not going to question it. And since the last thing he sent me was VHS tapes, I thought maybe he had some new VHS tapes to send me, whatever. And I get this box randomly, see his name on it. I'm like, "Oh, cool. Open it up. First thing I actually see was a bunch of cards. Like he threw in a bunch of WWE cards. And one thing which I thought that was really cool, he threw in a Mystery Men pin and he put it on a WWE card. So I do have that. And then like I'm pulling out of the packaging and the bag, and there I see it. Fucking Colin Delaney. It's also signed on top of it, but it was signed in Sharpie, so I'm going to get Colin to re-sign it. But still, huge shout out for hooking me up and giving me that little surprise.
Yeah, that's a hell of a get, man. That's not a cheap gift to give somebody. That rules.
Yeah, that's the other thing I thought about. It's not like he sent me just like a regular figure that's out right now. He sent me one. It's the chase. It's not just the regular figure, which granted, the regular figure is still hard to find, but he sent me the freaking chase.
Yeah, mine's not even the chase version.
So I'm really looking forward to getting that re-signed and throwing that on my wall. So I'm bringing like the Dan Hausen stuff. I'm bringing the Colin Delaney figure, and I'm bringing 2 Bam Bam Bigelow figures, one for Charlie and the other one for our friend Zach, because they both wanted Bam Bam.
Yeah, I'm going to have Colin sign my shit eventually, but I have a strict don't drag a bunch of shit places rule. So if I'm already bringing a comic book, that's that. I ain't fucking bothering Colin at this show. I'll see Colin Delaney plenty more times in the future to get that fig signed. But yeah, I'm not. That's just miserable to me toting a bunch of shit around. If I have shit to bring for other people, like just my own shit that I take places, my shit lives at my house.
Yeah, I might have someone that like takes care of them during the show. It depends too. If I'm like normal, which there hasn't been fucking normal lately, it doesn't feel like it. If I'm parked across the street from the Odeon, I'll just, run back to my car. But literally the past 2 shows, I've been parked behind the Odeon, and that's a whole different hike, which granted, it's not super, super far, but it's still like walking around this entire building, then walking down the road, and then having to do the whole thing. Like, no, I'm good on that. But if I could park across the street, that'd be great. But I swear, maybe it's because I was getting to shows earlier or what, but like, it seems parking is way worse right now. Like, there's just a lot more people in the area.
Yeah, the flats are really hopping on Fridays because everybody's able to go out and do shit. So, I think that's what it really is, because I'll probably be there right as they let people in for front row. So
yeah, I'm going to try to finagle things with my work to get out a little bit earlier than normal. No, I should say not even normal, that I have other shows. Because technically, I'm not supposed to get out of work till 8. And that's a little late for these shows. But anyway, let's get into the matches on this show. We'll start off with the first one that was announced. Oh, and this is going to be a good one. Ethan Wright versus Filthy Tom Lawler. Thoughts on this match, Butters?
Man, so Filthy Tom, former Absolute Champ, going into this match, it's going to be very interesting because I think we're seeing Ethan get challenged again against another top tier talent. So I don't know if they're pushing him further up the card with this, or they're just kind of testing him out and seeing how things go. But it's very interesting. I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be a really good match.
I'm just excited to have Tom back.
Oh, fuck yeah. I think this is going to be kind of a real good test for Ethan. Going up against a former Intense champ, like you said, but also...
Absolute champ? A former Absolute champ?
What'd I say?
You said an Intense champ.
Absolute champ.
If he ever held that belt.
He did not hold the belt. It was Absolute. Thank you.
I mean, he might have held it once, but it wasn't his.
Yeah. But yeah, this is going to be like a real big test. Someone who's actually also a fairly big name in wrestling. And
yeah.
This will be definitely more...
New Japan star Tom Lawler?
Oh, yeah.
MLW star Tom Lawler?
And we're also like done with the Academy Killer stuff. So...
It seems so, yeah.
I mean, if you're going to lose in the tournament, I'd figure like we're done with that. But I mean, he did just come off a victory from against Donst. So now it's going up against Lawler. I mean, outside of like going up against a lot of students, that's 2 back-to-back matches in AIW going against former champions.
Yeah, former Absolute champions, AIW veterans. That's a different level of competition for him.
And Tom Lawler right now is the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Champion. So
sure is.
That's a tall order for young Ethan.
Ooh, I wonder if he'll have that belt with him this weekend.
I think that'd be pretty fucking cool if he did.
Yeah,
Tom Lawler, if you're listening, bring that Japan belt with you.
He does follow the account, but I don't know if he listens to the podcast. I say probably not, but that's just me. I like that this was the first match announced because, you know, Ethan Wright's a dude who's trying to like prove himself at AIW, prove to us that, you know, he is that good. Who are your picks to win? I'm going to go, I got to go Filthy. It's hard for me to pick against him unless something or somebody interferes. Yeah, I'm going Filthy Tom all day. Who do you got, Butters?
I'm going to go with Ethan. I think that he bounced back against Tim Donst and pulled off the victory there. And I think that he's back on his winning road. And I think he's going to upset a lot of people and pull off the upset here. I think he's going to beat Tom somehow.
Who you got, Stacy?
Tom. I don't pick against Tom. Come on. Filthy all the way. Everybody's going to end this match clapping along to Sleepyhead. It's going to be done deal.
All right, let's move on to the next match. I got really excited when this one was announced. Bitcoin Boys versus the main event. So main event coming back to AIW. And, you know, Bitcoin Boys have kind of been on a streak in AIW. I mean, especially, too, with Mikey being one of the top performers of the Chandler Biggins Memorial Tournament. I mean, Eric Taylor, too, is no slouch. Also, very impressive things. Like I thought, like, when it came to Go for Broke, he was very impressive.
Yeah, Mikey and Eric are both impressive. Main event's big boys, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm clearly excited about main event. I make no bones about how much I like main event. I also like the Bitcoin Boys. Mm-hmm. This is there's many matches on this card where it's just everyone wins. The winner of the match is the fan in the seat because holy shit is this card good. And Bitcoin Boys versus main event, it could be very, very, very fun.
What are your thoughts on it, Butters?
I got strength versus speed here. So if Duke is out there, I think he's going to play a key part in Bitcoin, maybe pulling off an upset. But I'm super excited for this. Like I really enjoyed main event at the 2 shows they were at before, and I'd love them going up against the AIW tag team division. So Yeah, like Stacy said, everybody's a winner here. This match is going to be fucking awesome.
Dude, main event in AIW makes me so fucking happy because for so long I was like, man, those dudes are down in Pittsburgh and they would fucking kill at AIW. It would be so great. And the fact that in the last, it's 4 months, we've now had them multiple times. Oh, man, so good. So happy for those dudes that they're getting a shot in AIW. This match is just going to be amazing. Like, because you said strength versus speed, right, Butters?
Yeah.
But those dudes are fast too.
That's true.
You know, like I think this is going to be like a real fast paced, real high energy match. I think you're going to see some wild shit come out of all 4 dudes in this match. And at some point you will probably hear Pat Franklin yell about how he's wearing pads and that's illegal.
That is very true. I think one thing that I love about the main event is they were dudes that had it all put together fairly quick. And like, they're obviously not like this great polished product, but when it comes to the independent scene, they just stood out. And I mean, not just the fact of their height and everything, but just like I said, they had everything well put together. They knew who they were and they found just smaller ways to stand out a little bit more. I don't know.
Who they are is Blackcraft Tag Team Champions. That's who they are. That's a prestigious title. By the way, if you're ever looking to sell those prestigious titles, I have money set aside. So come see me.
But yeah, they're such an awesome team. I'm kind of in the same boat with Stacy of, wanting to see them get a shot in AIW. And I thought when Lee made his debut in AIW that was going to open a door for Pittsburgh talent. Like, it's not going to be like open the floodgates, but we're going to see more good Pittsburgh talent. And we see 3 of them in AIW right now, with 2 of them obviously being the main event. All right. Who do you got for this one? Let's start with Butters.
I'm going to go with the Bitcoin Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I was just going to say that I do think Duke is going to play a big role in this match. But that Duke is going to be Duke Davis. So I'm going with the main event.
Oh, look at you. Look at Justin being clever. So, yeah, there are 2 Dukes involved in this match. One of them is a dastardly motherfucker who will no doubt interfere. And the other one is Duke Davis. I would love to say that main event wins this thing. If they win it, it's going to be in spite of some bullshit and fuckery on the part of the Duke. I think they pull it off, but it's going to be rough. So you are going with the Bitcoin Boys? No, I'm going with main event. Okay. I think it's going to be tough to do. Okay. Gotcha. Oh yeah. And that, Duke line was almost going to be a really cheesy joke earlier, but I had to find a way to make it sound better. So I'm getting better. Anyway, let's, move on to the next match. Speaking of Pittsburgh talent, we have Derrick Dillinger with Ziggy Heim versus Dan Hausen. The production implodes again. Is the production anything besides Derrick and who Derrick says the production is? I don't think so. That makes Dan Hausen not part of it. He went off and made a bunch of money housing other places and got famous housing. The production is Derrick, but this is going to be a good match. 2 dudes who clearly know each other. I hope there's a promo coming out from one of them about this match. I hope there's promos coming from both of them. They're 2 guys who are fucking very good at making video promos. Dude, I would say no. I would say, do they still have promos on the show DVDs? But I mean, now a lot of them are on IWTV, which as of this recording, I don't know if they're going to be on, or are they going to be on IWTV? Yeah, they're going to be on IWTV. If you look at AIW right now, it's sitting there as like a pending thing with Dan Hausen's face staring at you. It's streaming. Oh yeah, and I'm a dumbass. As I'm looking at the graphic on the bottom right-hand corner, it says IWTV. Yeah, Friday streaming, Saturday is not. Okay. Well, I think the logistics of streaming Saturday are a little more difficult. Yeah, which is fine. I like being there and being able to be a part of that crowd without having to see like everybody else being able to enjoy it until later. They get to enjoy it after. We get Rager is a thing that should be enjoyed in person. And if you watch it later, you you just get to see what you missed. But you shouldn't. I don't think Rager is something that should ever be live. That's for the people that are there.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity to go to Wrestlerager and instead you go to like an anime convention or something like that, like maybe you should check your priorities at the door and just figure out what you're doing.
Oh, he's never gonna live that down.
Oh fuck no! He did it like 2 years in a row.
He likes anime.
He has
cosplay or whatever.
He has a hat that says "Come Now," so
he does have a cum hat. It's fantastic.
Kind of jealous. I kind of like the one that Austin has. That's the camo. I would own one of those.
Camo cum hat.
Yeah.
You're gonna confuse a lot of hillbillies with that. Good.
Yep. That's the whole point.
I mean,
nothing like a confused hillbilly to make me happy.
I mean,
the little things in life, man. The little things in life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily the same thing, but when I used to wear Bullet Club stuff in Walmart, I think there was people that were liking that shirt that was thinking a whole different angle than what it was supposed to be. I think I might have had somebody ask me how they join a Bullet Club. Anyway.
Well, first you got to be a club-a-low.
What is a club-a-low?
Big question.
Somebody who shits their pants.
Oh, that is a club-a-low. You know who doesn't shit his pants? Dan Hausen.
Oh, he curses people.
He does. Dude, here's the thing. So from even the last time Dan Hausen was at AIW, which we determined was the fucking collective, since then, that dude has become even more famous. Like, Dan Hausen just keeps getting more famous and more wild and weird shit keeps happening to that dude. And I love every minute of it because for years, that dude cultivated this character and worked on it and stood out above everybody else in the indies as far as character work went, as far as his promo videos. Everything that he was doing was next level. When he was making merch, going all the way back to when he was hand making merch, all the way through getting like blown plastic masks made to like things that he still has coming, you know, in the future. The dude is just, he's dialed in. He understands the business. He's fucking really good at it and couldn't be happier for the dude and glad that he's back at AIW. Unfortunately, he's got to wrestle Derrick and Derrick's very good now too.
Like going back with Dan Hausen, I mean, we were saying what, beginning of 2019? Like he had some of the best merch in all of independent wrestling.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned too, like he was hand making things, and one of the things he made were masks. He would make his face paint, and one thing that I thought was kind of cool is depending on when you bought it, you could look at the evolution of what he was doing with the face paint because every so once in a while it would slightly change. Yeah.
And he would do like commission ones too, where if you wanted like other makeup done on it, he would do the face paint different.
Which
he made those little coffins. He sold those coffins with some teeth in them for a minute. I have one of those. He's really good. I like that dude a lot. I am a fan from way back of everything that dude does. And I'm super fucking proud of him, super happy for him, and excited to have him back in town for this. And then, in October, he'll be back around again for Toyhio. Cheap plug.
Oh, 100% cheap plug. Free plug for Toyhio and Time Capsule Toys. We love them here. Fuck, even to the point where I don't think I've talked about this on the show, where I was looking for the Ultimate edition of Macho Man Randy Savage, and I passed on that at the last show. But I was like, hey, like, do you have any in stock? Because I would like to give you my business before I go anywhere else. And he's like, no, unfortunately, don't have any right now. And then, too, he actually hooked me up with information saying, yeah, we just had our order canceled.
Oh.
So you might want to run to any place you can and pick one up. Because I think he was ordering something big, maybe direct from Mattel or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran to ringside and bought one.
There you go. Yeah, man. And so like Derrick has really progressed in the last couple years too, from being just like a member of the production to really taking the lead in all of this and reinventing himself. even just the minor tweaks that Derrick's done over the last couple of years, it's just like his, not that he wasn't good before, but his in-ring has just kept getting better and better and better. And then, you know, the last AIW weekend between the Biggins Cup and the Fairgrounds show, that I think that was a real coming out for Derrick, especially in that he just, dude, the buckets of blood that dude bled, holy shit, you know, like that's a changer. That makes people notice, you know. The quality matches that happen during that tournament make people notice. And Dan Hausen so much different than other people he's been wrestling. It's just, I think this match is going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be really fun. And I think it might end up being a little more of a serious match than people expected. People forget Dan Hausen can wrestle really fucking well.
And then we kind of have a built-in story here of, like, I kind of already mentioned that, you know, they were part of the production and Dan Hausen goes off, does everything he's doing, and, you know, made himself into a bigger name. But you have Derrick doing the same thing here. And basically, I mean, we've seen the many faces of the production, and we're now to a new era that does not include Dan Hausen.
It doesn't include anybody, I don't think, other than Derrick and Ziggy. Yeah. And Ziggy's another one that, man, during the Biggins Cup, she reached a new level of fucking with the crowd.
Yes.
That was just amazing. Her skills of just getting the crowd angry are fucking great. It's good, very good. And you know, she's make sure that she's in the right place at the right time for Derrick to be able to use her to win, to use her to his advantage. He exploits, you know, he's an exploitation director, and he's exploiting her to his advantage. And dude, the whole thing is good. It's very good. I can't wait. It's going to be, earlier I said, this whole fucking card is great. And this is another example. So fucking good.
You've been pretty quiet here, Butters. Thoughts on the match?
It's like your two favorite children fighting each other. I can't choose. It's going to be good. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to be very excited to be ringside for it. Part of me hopes that it's a swerve and, you know, maybe they'll start to wrestle and then maybe, you know, somebody will come out and they'll just like team up and face a team or something. I don't want to see them fight, but I think it's going to be really cool to see them face each other if we do in fact get that. So,
I mean, if it's a swerve, so be it. That's cool. But I'm actually excited to see them go at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like 50-50 on it. Like I said, it's two of my favorites. Like I can't choose. I love both guys a lot. I like these are like two of my all-time favorites for AIW, so it's really hard to choose. So I'll be definitely I don't know, somehow I'm going to cheer for both guys the whole time. It'll be awesome.
Nothing says you have to cheer against somebody in a match.
This is true.
Watching the complete evolution for both of these guys is crazy. Like we witnessed a majority of Dan Hausen's career, or at least like his faces. The only thing we didn't really see was just regular Donovan Danhausen. But we saw when he first had the makeup, and then like this just transition more into this character, and even just going from the point where he had that was mostly like the They Live makeup, and what was the other one? One of the main ones that he did, Stacy, I know was a band that you like.
Well, no, he used to. The two that he did in Cleveland that weren't like normal Danhausen was he would do Converge Jane Doe,
yeah, and
he would do an Integrity makeup.
Okay.
I don't know that I ever saw him do They Live in person.
I've seen it. That's why one of the commission masks I bought from him was the first one I bought was They Live, because he did it once.
He didn't do that at Black Label, maybe.
Yeah, because I was there. I'd have to find the picture, but I am certain that I saw in person and I thought it was awesome.
That's what I'm saying. I think you saw it in person, but I'm not sure it was at AIW because I don't remember ever seeing him do it in person. I think he did it at Black Label.
No, by the time I first went to Black Label was versus Effie when he introduced the teeth for the first time.
Oh, right on.
I'd have to, I'll look through stuff and see if I can find some picture of him in the makeup, but I swear it was AIW. I just don't remember when. But anyway, we had that part of the evolution, like that early on gets into more of the Dan Hausen character and just goes more and more and more with it. Derrick too, especially if you've been around this area for a while. I remember Derrick Direction. And then when he debuted in AIW, that became, or when I should say when he became part of the production, which was his second appearance in AIW, if I'm correct, he then became Derrick Director. And now, like in the past year, we've had now the next evolution of it, of Derrick Dillinger. And all through this, like, you know, kind of his like ring attire and everything is the same, but like the attitude and the style, like it's changed and evolved. So I think like this is like really cool to see for this match. And actually, if you want to throw in it too, look at Ziggy, her evolution from Jinx to now.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to this match too. Maybe as of all the matches right now, maybe one of my most anticipated. Actually, no, the next 3 matches we're going to talk about are pretty cool too. But I mean, this is awesome and looking forward to it.
Who do you got 3 matches to talk about on this show and a whole nother show?
Yes. At least we have less for the other show.
This is going to be the longest episode ever, Summers.
I don't know. We reviewed a show 2 weeks ago and we talked for 2 hours. It was just me and you.
I guess that's fair.
Stacy, who do you got in this match?
Oh shit! Do I have to pick somebody?
Yes.
Dan Hausen is very famous and very evil, but very nice. I think he very wins.
Who do you got, Butters? You have to pick.
The fans.
No, they're not in the matchup.
If I can't steal my cop, if I can't use my cop out answer, you can't steal it. Stop.
I guess I'll go with Derrick. I guess.
You don't sound confident.
I gotta figure if Dan Hausen isn't sticking around, what's the sense of making him win? Well, I shouldn't say making him win. I don't see him winning. I think with Ziggy at ringside, I think he's easily distracted. We saw that anytime you try to give him spicy water. I feel like it's only a matter of, you know, something small that's going to trip him up, and Derrick will take advantage and finish out the match.
I'm going to go Dan Hausen. I think Derrick's going to have a fun match the next day. People might not think on paper, but I think there's a really fun element to that match. But I'm actually really looking forward to the interactions between Dan Hausen and Ziggy, especially with, like Stacy mentioned, Ziggy kind of amping it up the last set of shows. Can she keep it up? And now, like, you know, she has to do a show with Dan Hausen. I think it's going to be awesome. Let's move on to the next match. Next up, To Infinity and Beyond versus Bulking Season. You have, you know, basically, I questioned the word, but I want to say a legendary tag team in AIW, just well decorated.
I don't think Bulking Season's legendary yet. I mean, they're good, but I don't know if they're legends yet.
Highly decorated tag team, To Infinity and Beyond.
To Infinity and Beyond are legendary in AIW. Are you kidding? They're probably the most famous. They're like the AIW tag team.
I think because they're obviously like still here, like using the word legend always feels weird. So that's why I wasn't sure about using it.
I don't know. I think it's fair.
Okay.
I think those two deserve respect put on their name. Whether you like them or don't, and at different points, I'm sure it's been both for different people at different times. Colin and Cheech are really fucking good. You know what made me real happy was when the Daldork team was in on that show. That the crowd gave like love to Infinity and Beyond and Josh and Wes, even though they were supposed to be the heels. It just felt good for To Infinity and Beyond to not just be hated. Like, straight up, the only reason why people hated them forever was they were sick of seeing them with the fucking tag belts, right? Like, yeah. That was it. That's what it was. And Cheech is better at being a guy that you don't like than he is at being a guy that you do. Like, Cheech has a very hateable presence to him. So, I mean, that part of it's, you know, whatever it is. But, like, To Infinity and Beyond are a great fucking tag team. And they're, you know, they're fucking... Legend is fine. I have no problem with you calling them legends. Not that my opinion on that holds any kind of weight. Like, I get to say who is a legend, but like, I think it's fair. I think calling them legends is fair.
Thoughts on this match, Butters?
I can't wait for Walking Season to break Colin Delaney in half.
I mean, it could be Cheech, but one of them's going to take that knee from Chuck Stone.
I already told Orange it has to be Colin, and I need to laugh at Orange after it happens. So sorry, Colin, you got to take one for the team, man. Sorry,
you got to die for the team. It's okay.
Don't hit Artie in the head.
Charles Hamburger and Artie had a big weekend at the Gathering.
Whoop, whoop.
Hopefully they've recovered.
They were looking at animals, and they saw a dinosaur, and it was pretty wild.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I don't know how he wears that fucking trench coat in the summer. Like, so the Odeon's air conditioned, that's fine. This show, I have but like at Rager or at like that shit in Canton, like, get the fuck out of here. That is a fucking wool trench coat. Buy a different, go to the goddamn thrift store, man. I'm sure there's a fucking lightweight trench coat for summertime. Like, oh, I can't imagine how bad that thing smells. Ugh, wool, 90 degrees outside. Ugh.
And we're also gonna see Arthur MacArthur at Old Wrestling. That's
yes, dude. If there was ever a guy who was destined for Old Wrestling, it is Arthur MacArthur. I'm so happy for him that he gets to work Old on Sunday.
I feel like the only other wrestler that was more destined for Old Wrestling was Marion Fontaine, but when you create the company, yeah, that's a little bit different. So 100% Arthur MacArthur.
You know, I never thought about it before, but how do you think Silent Bob deals with wearing a trench coat all the time? That one's pretty fucking heavy too. And like, that's all that motherfucker wears.
Yeah, he's a fictional character, Butters. That's
fictional characters.
And Movie Magic says a lightweight coat for the summertime.
And if you want to hear us talk about more about Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, give us a number of months and we'll have that episode out for you on Stacy's podcast.
Yeah, at some point in the next year, that episode will air.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, I make no promises with that show at this point. I am the worst podcaster in podcasting. Good with it.
No, I'm pretty sure there's worst.
Oh, at getting shit out at a regular interval? I do not believe so. I'm pretty bad at it.
No, actually, and a friend of mine will hear this, but I got a friend in Canada who would take months to edit one episode.
Oh, well, that's just silly. If you've got the shit recorded, just fucking edit it, buddy.
Yeah.
But like, making content takes time. Time's a thing I don't have a lot of right now. So.
Well, you got to do the background and everything on top of it too. So that's also understandable.
Sure. Yeah. That's fine.
But we don't need any. What was that?
What? Nothing. Something for you to edit out. That's what that just was.
Well, I was going to say that one thing we don't need background information for is To Infinity and Beyond in bulking season.
We don't. That's true. Everybody knows about all of these guys.
I'm looking forward to seeing bulking season step up to this pretty big challenge.
This is possibly their biggest challenge. If there is a test for tag teams in AIW to say where they're at, to see how good they are, if you want to see where you measure up, I feel like To Infinity and Beyond is that measuring stick. I
can agree with that.
That's fair.
Who do you got in this match, Butters?
I'm going to go with bulking season.
Stacy?
I just spent all this time talking up To Infinity and Beyond. So it seems like the right thing to do would be to pick Colin and Cheech to go over. So I'm picking Charles Hamburger. Like, bulking season's going to win. But specifically, Charles Hamburger is going to get the win with that brutal fucking move.
I'm going to go To Infinity and Beyond. Only so Orange doesn't go crazy on all three of us. So I'll take a bullet.
He'll live.
That's
go with your gut, Summers. Go with your gut. Don't make choices to appease others. Don't pander. Orange will be fine.
Okay, I'm going to go bulking season.
See?
But is that me pandering to you?
That was you listening to reason. That was...
Stacy's the devil on Justin's shoulder.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Chase Oliver versus Lee Moriarty.
Match of the year. Everybody say it with me. Match of the year. I'm not talking about AIW. I'm talking about motherfucking wrestling. Match of the year.
Yeah, this match is going to be fucking awesome.
I feel bad for whoever has to wrestle after this match.
Yeah, so happy to see Chase back. Great dude. Love even after show, just like getting a nice chance to talk to him. And then we got Lee. Everything he's done over the past like 2 years, just amazing. I think if there's a match on this card where it's going to be hard for me to pick a winner, it's this one.
Well, I have no idea who would win this match. I mean, this to me is a legitimate toss-up. Like, there's no whoever I pick here in a minute or two when we have to pick. That's completely just I might flip a fucking coin. Both of these guys. So like, I want everybody to appreciate what we have here. One, Lee Moriarty. How in the fucking world is Lee Moriarty still even available for us to watch on the indies is amazing to me. Like, I fully believe in the case of Lee Moriarty, if it weren't for COVID, he'd be fucking gone already. Like, if COVID had never happened, the trajectory Lee was on, he wouldn't even be in this fucking country anymore. I fully believe that. And everybody should enjoy and appreciate every opportunity they get to see Lee Moriarty wrestle in person in Cleveland. Because those days are fucking numbered. I promise you. I don't know how long. I don't know when. I don't know where. But at some point, somebody's going to pay that man some fucking money. And he ain't going to be available to come wrestle at the Odeon. And if Chase had never gotten injured, he's had an unfortunate history with some injuries. I fully believe if that shit had never happened, that dude wouldn't be around either. He is going to be, if he can stay healthy, he is going to be the breakout star of this year. This year going into next year, you are going to see motherfuckers everywhere talking about Chase. He is good. He is really fucking good. Enjoy him while he's here.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I still go with one of the main things I definitely want to see. All of us probably want to see it too. I want to see Lee make it to Japan.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. It's what the guy wants.
Mm-hmm. He'd kill it too.
Dude, he will kill it wherever he's at. Lee is he's fucking great. Lee Moriarty is great at every level. He's a good person. He's a good wrestler. He's good at other things he does outside. Jesus Christ, I need to learn to speak. He's good at other things he does outside of wrestling, be it graphic design, all that shit. He's good. The dude is a full package. You hire him and he can literally handle all of his own business himself. You know, he's just, Lee Moriarty is special. And we're all very lucky that he's still around.
Thoughts on the match, Butters?
Coming into this, Chase just returning from injury recently, and Lee appearing on AEW and then going to Mexico and winning a tournament there. This is really, really interesting. I mean, Lee's been on fire for a while. Unfortunately, we also see Lee lose when it's a big moment. So, I mean, he has a history of coming into something and almost being a lock, and then unfortunately, he doesn't get the win. So going into this, Chase really needs to prove himself, and I think that Lee is the perfect foil for that because Lee is coming off of a loss recently as well, and they both need a win here. So this is going to be all out to get this win and move up the rankings.
All right, who do you guys got winning this? I'm gonna go Chase. Who do you got, Stacy?
Damn it. I don't have a coin. I'm picking Lee. I'm gonna pick Lee. It's experience. Lee's everything Butters just said. He was on Dark, so he was at AEW. He was in Mexico. He's been out there. He's been working consistently. Chase is just getting his wheels back under him. Chase is amazing. He's a guy that I think is next level talent. But I think Lee is just at a point in his game right now where I got to pick Lee. It's just experience and reps that Lee has under him right now that Chase doesn't.
Who do you got, Butters?
I'm going to go with Chase. I think that as long as, nothing happens in this match, health-wise with anything going wrong, I think that he's going to pull off this victory. I think if he can stay healthy, I mean, that's the real question here. If he can stay healthy, the sky's the limit for him. So
knock on every piece of fucking wood around you right now, Butters.
I am. I absolutely am. But yeah, so I'm going to go with Chase. I think Chase is going to have an answer for Lee.
No, Stacy, I want you to give him the same energy you gave me at the last show
because you said some asshole shit about like, I hope he don't get hurt. And I was like, how about you shut the fuck up?
I whispered.
Because
I said something very softly and I got yelled at, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because that's some fucking jinx shit. You don't do that to people. Come on now. I'm not even like a fucking, I'm not even a person who believes in that kind of shit, but I don't know. It seemed like a bad idea to tempt it. Like, I'm not superstitious, but fuck, man.
I think it's just everybody's worried about it because, he came back and then he got hurt almost, right away again. And it's not so much that, we think it's funny or anything like that. It's just we worry about that with him because he's so injury prone to this date. And if he can, I mean, so far he's proven, he did the 2 shows, seemed fine. So I think he'll be all right. I hope so. I don't think anybody thinks it's funny or anything. I think that's in the back of everybody's mind though now because we know he's so prone. Like there's just guys that are just unfortunately like that, and it's like you see it once and then it keeps happening, and it's like it's unfortunate. But
you're right because I watched it happen in Canton where he took a fucking bump, and I am assuming he was selling the injury, but he was grabbing his knee and literal genuine fucking worry out of a number of people sitting around me that were like, oh fuck, he's hurt again. Oh fuck, he's hurt again. Like, you gotta let that go, man. You gotta that can't be every time the dude wrestles. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. I mean, he obviously isn't fucking out there living in fear of it. The fans don't need to,
Yeah.
I don't know. I get it, but like, I don't know. I'm all about like not putting energy you don't want out into the world. And that just seems like a bunch of negative shit to put out into the world that don't need to be there.
I mean, he had some stellar outings so far this year. And I think that going up against Lee, I think he might have an answer for Lee. And I think it's going to put him, in that contention because I would really love to see Chase against the absolute champ.
Oh my God.
Josh Bishop. So
no consequences, melts down. I'm here for it. I'm here for Chase versus Josh. Holy shit, would that be a match?
Yeah, there's a lot of dream matches that I could see for some of this roster that we're seeing a lot more frequently that haven't happened yet. And I'm just curious and excited for. I think there's other people that know those matches haven't happened, and it's because when we get back to full-on AIW storytelling mode, we're going to get those stories, and it's going to be very sweet to see those and see how those stories unfold.
Match of the year. Match of the year.
And we all made our picks on that, so let's move on to the last match for this card. Joshua Bishop versus Philly Collins, and I do believe this is for the Absolute Intense Championships.
Oh, yeah, it is. Philly's pissed.
He was robbed from this opportunity in Go for Broke.
Legitimately robbed. Josh admitted to it on the Twitter. Said, I stole your money.
I must have missed that tweet, but yeah.
Earlier today.
I do love this title run from Bishop. Just going against any and everybody.
Yeah. Taking on all comers, man. This is one though that's a little bit different for him. He's got a guy who's mad. Like, some people just want to come in and try to win that belt. This shit's been made personal, right? Like, I don't know. I'm excited to see it. Philly cutting a promo.
Yes.
Clearly pissed off. He's got an equalizer in Marino, someone to help offset Wes interfering in shit. It's, stranger things have happened. It's a tall order, right? It's like you know, for as hot and fired up as Philly is about this whole thing, it's a tall order to beat Josh Bishop. But I don't know, man. Anything can happen.
Thoughts on the match, Butters?
Well, first off, thank God it's indoors, and I don't think Wes is going to fit a U-Haul inside. Not for lack of trying. But I feel like if those two are banned from ringside and it's a one-on-one fight, Philly could definitely pull this off. I don't know how, but it's possible. But at the same time, it's such a slim chance. I'm sorry. Bishop has been on such a tear, and I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. I don't think there's many people that would be able to take one of the belts off of him, let alone both. It's going to take a hell of a effort to do so. So,
I mean, the only way I think any of the belts are coming off of Josh is if he has to put them up in separate matches. But that's doesn't seem to be the issue right now. But even then, I don't know what it would take or what opponents it would take to accomplish that, to take one off of him. I'd like
all fucking order.
Oh yeah. So this is going to be interesting with Philly. I mean, I would say Wes, winning the Chandler Biggins Memorial Tournament was a shock to some people. Not everybody, but definitely some. Talk about a shock if Philly pulls it off. If he's actually able to beat Josh. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but what if?
Well, man, think about this. The idea for Josh West, they were going to own all the gold, right? And they have the opportunity now for West to cash in on those tag titles. They get their shot, right? But Philly wins this match. All the gold is with PME. All of it. Boy, that's fucking thing, right?
Yeah, that is.
A nice little twist of events if that could happen.
And then, what belt does West cash in for?
Ooh, that's true.
Could be interesting. Not saying it's going to happen. The first thing that has to happen is Philly needs to pull off the upset of all upsets. And that's not a slight on Philly, but a lot of dudes have went up against Josh, and not one of them have won.
All right, who do you guys got in this match? I'm going to go with... Gotta go with Bishop. Who do you got, Butters?
I'm going to stick with the Intense Icon, Bishop.
Stacy.
Philly is my dude. It would be amazing if he won. I got to pick Bishop.
All right, that's all of Touch of Evil. But I should say, all the matches that we have announced or have been announced as of this recording. Let's move on to Wrestlerager. Wrestlerager 5. And we started off with a bang for these announcements. Mance Warner versus Levi Everett. And if I'm correct, these two have had matches before, but this is going to be at AIW and at Wrestlerager. I think it's going to be a fun one. Thoughts on this match, Butters?
Yeah, they've fought each other in a hardcore match at Bizarro that was fucking wild. The doors that were used during that just had some of these sickest shots going back and forth between those two. And I know that they're going to, pull out all the stops for this match. So I expect it to be just as violent, just as crazy as that match, if not 10 times more, because it's Rager, baby.
Levi has a different intensity in him these days, and I cannot wait to see him and Manser go fucking ape shit at Rager. It's going to be wild.
Will Levi be as over here as he was in Canton?
Levi's over everywhere, man. He's the Mennonite megastar. He's over everywhere.
I don't know if it's possible for him to be as over as he was in Canton. He was pretty fucking over.
Who do you guys got winning? I'm gonna go with Mance.
I gotta go with Manser, baby.
I'm gonna go with Levi Everett. I think he's been on a lot of AIW shows recently, showing his worth, and I think that he's gonna step up to Manser and answer that call and come out with a victory.
I don't know. This is Rager, not Rumspringer. I don't know if he got it in him.
That new intensity, man. I don't know. I think we'll be in for some surprises.
Somebody needs to make that fucking show happen. Levi Everett's Rumspringer.
God, that needs to happen so bad. I don't know if it would happen, or I don't know if it's a good thing if it would happen here, but what about that venue that the Collective was at in Indianapolis?
It's cursed. That big concrete motherfucker is cursed.
If
They just did that whole deathmatch show there. There were still like 8 people in the fucking building.
If I was IWTV, that would be my show that I would run against Joey Janela's Spring Break with.
Is Levi Everett's Rumspringer?
Yeah.
God.
And I would make it just as fucking crazy as GCW's show. Why not? It'd be fucking dope.
I mean, I don't know that you have to run that Levi Everett thing up against anybody. I just think it would be funny to do as a show. But that venue would be cool. Here's the problem with that venue is nobody will fucking go. Like, you've got to make it a big event. You've got to pull like big things in around it. If you're just trying to pull from like Indiana and the hopes that people will travel, that ain't going to work. You got to make it a big deal. And having that as like one show of like a weekend in the fall could be really fucking cool, because that venue was really fucking cool for the Collective last year. And I realized that ticketing was limited for the Collective because of COVID, and it should probably still be somewhat limited because of COVID, because the shit's still out here and a bunch of people seem to not want to get poked in the arm with a needle. But I think that building has potential and there could be cool shit there. But like that whole deathmatch show happened and there was like less people than were there for the Collective.
I don't know. When I think of that show, I think of in something in like a barn.
Hey, I know a place where they have a barn.
I was thinking that before, but then you said about having things around it. I'm like, I don't know if then we can do it there.
Yeah, I mean, that's also a fairground, you know? It's no different than that big stone weird shit in Indiana. There's other buildings around it.
Yeah. That would be so much fun. And we need to see Levi come to the ring in a horse and buggy. Just once.
Well, now that's a tall fucking order.
Like I said, just once. That's all we need.
Now we're putting this show on. We'll just put Steve Guy in charge of getting that to happen. Trust him with that, right?
Steve, we're going to need you to find the Amish, get a hold of the Amish, tell them that you need a buggy, help them understand how to get their fucking horse to where we're at without a vehicle. They'll probably have to leave like a day fucking early so they can trot their fucking horse out to wherever it is.
Just the adventure of watching Steve try to do all this would be great footage as well. So we could just put it all together of, you know, Steve trying to get a horse and buggy to the show.
I mean, couldn't Levi have like some Amish hookups? Some
I'm sure.
Fair. Yeah.
You know, some distant relatives that, you know, that live out of state that could hook him up.
Sure. I'm sure he's got family around Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
All right, let's move on to the next match. Talked about him earlier, and I think this is going to be a fun match. Derrick Dillinger with Ziggy Heim versus the returning Parker Pierce. I think this is going to be a fun match because I'm willing to bet Parker Pierce has sold a good amount of tickets for the show. So
I had it on good authority that a while ago, and I don't know what the number looks like now, but a while ago, Parker Pierce had sold a ridiculous number of tickets for this show already. Parker Pierce, this is like his bar. So he's like the worldwide of Rager now for this new location. I expect him to have incredible crowd support, just fucking insane.
I get where you're coming from with the worldwide of this Wrestlerager, but I'm thinking the Bishop and Barkley of this Wrestlerager, where he's going to have a lot of people in his corner, and you have Derrick and Ziggy not giving one single fuck.
Very true.
I think Derrick and Ziggy both, their intentions are going to be, number 1, beat Parker. Number 2, start a riot.
Riots are cool. I like riots.
So yeah, I think this is a match that a lot of people are overlooking, but for that ticket sale reason, I think it's going to be really memorable.
You know, Parker's been away for a while. His mentor is gone. I don't foresee him finding a way to end the hot streak of Derrick Dillinger. So,
thoughts on the match, Stacy?
You know, Butters brings up a good point. Parker Pierce has been away from the ring for quite a while. And as we just talked about, Derrick continues to get better and better and better. So, tall order for Parker Pierce. to take on Derrick in this match. But, the power of having a bunch of people around you cheering you on, anything can happen. I am picking Derrick. I wouldn't count Parker out. It's not going to be easy.
All right, who do you guys got winning? I'm going to go Derrick. How about you, Stacy?
I just went. I said Derrick.
Well, making it official, I wasn't really asking people before. So, yeah, Derrick, thank you.
I volunteered it ahead of time. Derrick.
Yeah, I'm going to go Derrick, too.
All right, clean sweep there. Let's move on to the next one. Lynn versus Jocelyn Navarro. I don't remember the last time we seen Lynn at AIW. I'm willing to bet, could be wrong, maybe Mount Carmel days?
It was 100% Mount Carmel days.
Okay.
I think the last time she was in AIW, so was Marty Bell. I think they were together.
Yeah, I do believe so. Maybe was she at the last GNO?
I don't know. What does the internet say, Justin?
Well, I have a lot of things open in front of me. I could attempt to take a really quick look.
I mean, regardless, it has been a long time since she's been at AIW.
And she makes
minimum 3 years.
And she makes her return at frickin' Wrestlerager.
I mean, it's the place to be.
What are your thoughts on the match, Butters?
Jocelyn is going to wipe the floor with her. Jocelyn is the new face of the women's matches in AIW, and she has been taking on all comers, and I think that she is definitely going to be somebody to watch out for in a bigger stage in the next year, and I think she's just been killing it. So,
Jocelyn's very good, and there are dozens of reasons to like Jocelyn and pick her. However, Lynn is a wily fucking veteran. Lynn has wrestled everybody. Lynn has been around for a while. There's not a lot that she hasn't seen, and sometimes, especially at a show like Rager, where the environment can maybe get you out of your game, I feel like that advantage plays to a veteran. Not saying that it's not something Jocelyn could win, but I wouldn't so easily discredit Lynn's chances.
From what I can tell, the last time Lynn was in AIW was against
Faye Jackson.
Faye Jackson, yeah.
Yeah.
What year was that?
2017. It was the last GNO.
5 years ago.
Almost. And looking at some of the names on that card, we have Kiera Hogan, Shotzi Blackheart, Penelope Ford, Britt Baker, and in the main event for the AIW Women's Championship, Shayna Baszler versus Allison Kay.
Oh, the champ. Still champ.
The champ.
Keeping that belt polished. Real nice. I'm sure it's looking good down in Florida.
I still love it after she became champion and she literally polished up the belt and made it look really nice.
I bet it still looks nice.
I mean, comparing it to what it looked like before. And I think she posted the picture on Twitter and talked shit that all she did was polish it up. Like no one took care of this belt, but she is. And probably still is.
She's the best. I hope she fleeces that billionaire for a bunch more money for a long time. But I look forward to the day when she's able to walk through the curtain at the Odeon and hold that belt up and still be champ and announce that it's been like a fucking 1,000 and some days or whatever since she last defended it.
Who do you guys got with Lynn and Jocelyn Navarro?
I'm going to pick Joss. Everything I said about Lynn being a veteran notwithstanding, all that's very true. I just think Jocelyn has a fire under her, knowing that she's got the opportunity to kind of be the face of women's wrestling in AIW. I don't think she's going to let somebody come back after a few years and take that away from her.
Exactly.
So is that who you going with, Butters?
Yes, sir. I'm going with Jocelyn as well.
I will also go Jocelyn. Let's move on to the final match we have of Wrestlerager. Kaplan versus Matt Justice.
Dang.
This match was made for Wrestlerager. I don't know if I can picture it anywhere else, but the best place to picture it is Wrestlerager.
It already happened this year once.
That's
in the Odeon.
That's kind of what I thought.
Sure did.
Yeah.
So yes, they wrestled at the Odeon. It was fantastic. It was brutal. It's Rager. It's going to be even more fucking brutal. Kaplan just fresh off of making all the juggalos realize they don't know how to party.
And getting hit by a U-Haul. Oh, fuck. This is going to be wild.
There'll be a U-Haul. Who knows?
True. He might go off with the U-Haul this time. Who the fuck knows, man?
Good.
Anything could fucking happen.
So here's the beautiful part about Rager. I haven't been to this fucking building. I haven't went and scoped it out. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know anything about the fucking place. Who knows what could happen? I don't know what high places there are for Matt to throw people off of, for Matt to jump off of. There's a world of possibilities that could be there for this show. Excitement.
Could be a random tree he climbs and just jumps out of. Who knows?
Could be. I can assure you there are going to be unprotected chair shots. Over under on 10. More or less than 10 chair shots. Summers?
Make it a decimal. Make it a half. So make it the over under easier.
For 10? Look, is somebody going to get brained in the head with a fucking chair 10 times or less?
I'm going to say more.
More than 10?
Yep.
I think more than 10 too.
I'm going to push and say 10.
Exactly 10?
Exactly 10.
Wonderful. This is just going to be brutal nonsense, and I love it.
Fonzie will be there.
He will.
Hopefully Kaplan doesn't get his hands on Fonzie. That would be very bad.
It would. Not good for Fonzie.
No. Trying to get Jayhawk to dress up like Fonzie again.
Oh, Lord.
That's one of my favorite moments ever when they had the whistle off in the crowd in Akron. That was one of my favorite things in the world.
I have debated on showing up to this show dressed like Levi. The only thing I really need right now is a hat.
Midway through the match, Manser just smacks you with the door. Got blood in his eyes, can't see, and just smacks you. Oh my.
If that were to actually happen, I wouldn't be upset. I would probably fucking roll over laughing.
Sell it like death. Just lay there till the end of the match.
I don't know. Some of these doors, I've seen them fucking garbage pick or wherever they come from. You might not have a choice but to lay there. These ain't always interior doors.
Sometimes, Levi is nice enough to make some doors and bring them to the show. So,
well, those ones aren't breaking.
Right.
All right. Who do you guys?
If there's one thing the Amish know, it's making a door. Well, a barn, but then a door.
Who do you guys got in this match? I'm gonna go Justice.
I'm always gonna pick Matt Justice.
Yeah, that's pretty foregone. I'm gonna go with Justice as well.
All right. That's previewing all the matches we have for both of the shows this weekend.
Well, and I just want to take a moment and say Olde is happening on Sunday in Norwalk, and you should all go there because Dick fucking Justice is returning to wrestling action. And man, it's been a long time, and I am super fucking happy to see that dude wrestle. A bunch of people wrestle on that show that you don't usually get a chance to see wrestle. A lot of people only work that show or don't work a lot of shows outside of that one. Fontaine, for example. But there are other people who you get to see work a different gimmick that is really good. And on that show, there is another Lee Moriarty match that I am actually excited about. Felino Blanco versus Lee.
I'm excited to see Effie.
Effie is making his debut at Olde. Very true. Ricky Bag of Milk. He's going to be there playing the only character that he's any good at.
We have Eden Hollicraft and Sydney Duckworth.
Oh, yeah. They're debuting there, too. The Von Englands.
Yep.
Arthur MacArthur making his debut there. The Shoeshine Boys. They're going to have a match there. It looks like just half of the Fuckets.
Yeah.
Be there.
It doesn't seem like T-Money gets out as much. I mean, granted, I don't even think Russ has many matches anymore. Or just right now, I should say, not anymore.
I think I remember one of them posting about as long as COVID was happening, they weren't wrestling, which is fine.
Yeah.
I did get to see them at Paradigm earlier this year, and they had some really nice new gear and stuff like that. It was a really fun match.
Yeah. I like the Fuckets, miss the Fuckets. So that's another reason. If you miss the Fuckets, you at least get to see part of the Fuckets. Big Sue.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Big Sue.
Jock Sampson.
Yeah. Jock ain't been around AIW for a minute. Jock will be at Olde. There's just a lot of good over at Olde, and it's a good time. And Yeah, it is a nice switch of gears from Rager the day before to Old. It's the best. And if you're into like old timey cosplay, boy, come dressed and you'll fit right in. Meanwhile, I'll be wearing like camo basketball shorts and looking completely out of place, but fuck it. I don't play dress up.
And we can't forget the champ there, one Mr. Matt Cross. He'll be there.
Oh yeah, the champ, long time champ. Had that belt for, it's got to be pushing 2,000 days.
First wrestler I ever took a mark photo with was him.
Good one to choose.
Yep.
Also, my first.
Oh, look at you. You're Mark Eskimo twins. Little Eskimo brothers. M-Dog was your first.
Oh, we also can't forget about I don't know if I can pronounce his name right. Jasmine Clearwater.
Oh yeah, professional. That is a professional official there.
Actually, I don't think M-Dog's going to be there.
Really?
It would not be the first extravaganza that did not have the champ.
I'm looking at all the announcements of people that were going to be there, and he is not one of them, and he's not on the poster.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he doesn't always do the extravaganza. Plus, M-Dog is a guy who, like, if he can get bookings, he's out there getting bookings, man.
Yeah, but we pretty much named everybody else that's going to be there.
So Old's a good time. It's also cheap, right? It's $15.
Yep.
If you have a little kid, I think it's like $5 for your kid.
It is.
To come. It's a great show to take kids to, but it's fun if you're an adult. It is usually story driven, and the story all takes place on that show and that show only. So you don't need to know shit going into it. If you do, all the better. If you don't, you're still going to have a good time. Cannot recommend Old enough in Norwalk, Ohio.
And then that show was also sponsored by IWTV Guide.
That is correct.
Kind of like 2 years ago, and it was sponsored by Wrestling Cheers. Did you sponsor a particular match?
No, I just did a general sponsorship.
Okay. Of course, I didn't necessarily pick the match. Fontaine picked the match for me, and it was a perfect match. All right. Any final thoughts or last minute plugs before we go? Start with Butters.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Charly_Butters, and you can find my podcast on Twitter and Instagram at IWTV Guide.
Stacy.
Man, at Stacy Silvers on the Twitter, at Super Fantastic on the Twitter. Super Fantastic Podcast all summer has been doing our summer camp series. We covered Sleepaway Camp, and then we did Friday the 13th part 6. And coming up, September's still summer, right? Yeah, fuck
Sure.
it, that's still summer. Calendar says so. We are doing the motherfucking Burning with Austin from the Grift podcast. So, yeah. So that is going to be the September episode. There's also going to be the final episode of Super Chantastic, because holy fuck, Ed and I don't want to touch that shit at all anymore. So we'll tell you all about that at some point in the next month. And go watch wrestling this weekend. Buy a ticket, go to a show if you're in Ohio, and enjoy the shit. Summer's going to be over before you know it. And you know what Ohio's like after summer is over. It's like almost immediately winter.
And of course, you can find myself at jsummers330 on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, which I can find the show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Facebook.com/Wrestling Cheers, Twitter.com/Wrestling Cheers, and Instagram.com/Wrestling Cheers. Email, if you so choose to desire, WrestlingCheers@gmail.com. And we have the merch store over at whatamaneuver.net. Like I mentioned earlier in this show, please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to this fine podcast, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, and Podbean, WrestlingCheers.podbean.com. And all of those links you can find right in the podcast notes in our Linktree link. Also, check out our friends on the Trending Topics Network, such as All Beer Inside, Eurovision Showcase, the Spanish Announce Table, and Wrestling with Altitude. Check out our other podcasting friends such as Pod Van Dam, Let the Hate Flow Through You, Super Fantastic Podcast, It's Evolution Baby, The IndieCast, Sobros Network, Biff Radio, Gay Marks Podcast, We Like Sports Podcast, Powerbomb Jitsu, The Spotlight Series, Fully Posable, Doing the Favor, Positively Pro Wrestling, IWTV Guide, At Odds with Wrestling, Best in the World Podcast, Marks with Mikes, Marnie and Sarah Love Wrestling, This Ends at Prom, and Porch Talk. Check out our other non-podcasting friends such as Thrift Store Jobber, The Savage Dash, The Mystery Men, Redline Radio, Mouse's Wrestling Adventures, VHS Party Tonight on Instagram, Co-Host Wrestling Show, Good Company, Heart of Gold, Toy Hi-Yo Toy Show, Time Capsule Toys, Stay Tough, Smokin' Jay's Barbecue, Wrestle Void, Midwest Territory, Southern Underground Pro, and the official graphic designer of Wrestling Cheers, Moy Boy Designs. That will do it for us here on Wrestling Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Unless you're Kenny from the Mystery Men. Later.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Would you like to get away? Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're only glad you came. What you can say, rules are all the same. You're for everybody else, you're
A huge shout out to our boy, and I'm blanking on his fucking name. No, because
Huge shout out to guy I don't remember.
Fucking sound like me, man. That's what I do all the time. I'm like, yeah, there's just really poor name I can't remember it.
I got it now, but I was remembering half the name, and I wanted to say everything. I'm like, fuck. But anyway, huge shout out to Kenny from the Mystery Men for hooking me up